Hi, this is Juliana Kenny at IT Expo East 2011 in Miami. I'm joined by Barlow Keener, an attorney at Keener LawGroup. Thanks for joining me.
Yep, I'm glad to be here.
So you just sat in on Mary Evslin's talk at the Super Wi-Fi Summit. What are the key points, or what was the most important thing that you drew out of that?
Well, the white spaces is what we've been focused on, and that's a new order that the Commission has just rolled out in the last 2 years to open up spectrum that had been owned by the TV stations. And so the real issue is it really available to be used nationwide? And it appears from our discussions that it is available in the rural areas, but it's not available in the cities. Like, you couldn't put a fixed white spaces tower up in Miami where we are now.
So that's the biggest issue that's cropped up lately that people are coming together to try and resolve?
Well, because you can't put fixed towers up in the big cities like Boston or Miami or Washington, D.C., because there's no spectrum that's been made available in those cities because of all the exceptions, the manufacturers of equipment won't be able to produce enough equipment to get the prices down to an affordable price per radio. So once that issue gets resolved and the FCC is able to deliver more spectrum, I think that will have an effect on the price of the equipment.
What's one of the ways that issue can be resolved?
Well, the FCC could issue a new order in the future, or one sort of innovative way is that TV stations could license on a small sort of incremental basis using the white spaces database that spectrum. And so that's one of the things that will be going on in the future is where the owners of that spectrum, they don't really own it, they license it, would be able to use innovative spectrum licensing that occurred just when you used it, and once you were done, you would pay just for that piece of it.
So what do you think in terms of the context of IT Expo, how a topic like this, plays into all of the other co-located events and, everything else that's going on at the show today, and does it benefit it?
Yeah, well, there's an M2M session and there's a smart grid session. So the white spaces is that spectrum that where the TV channels have right now, and it's a lot of spectrum. And so the idea is that smart grid would be able, the electric companies measuring the electricity at your home would be able to use this spectrum and share information and make smart grid really happen. So, and M2M is the same thing, which is machine to machine. That's where we think the white spaces, that's what it was built for, and that's where we think it'll go.
So have you yourself been to any other sessions at the other co-located events and gotten anything particular out of them?
No, I spoke, I was the keynote at the white spaces this morning, and I did 2 panels.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today.
Oh, yeah. No, I love the show, and we come every year.
Excellent. Well, once again, this is Juliana Kenny with Barlow Keener.